Hey guys, we're here in the Freedom Tunnels of New York City. So it looks like we're in. Somewhere in the Upper West Side of New York City. The Freedom Tunnels are these Amtrak tunnels known for their graffiti artwork. So a lot of graffiti artists come here to basically practice, do murals, do their artwork. It's been a few years since I've last come here. I used to come here a lot when I was in high school with some friends, and we just messed around and hiked the tunnels for miles and kind of just do some urban exploration. These tunnels were developed in the 30s. In the 90s, it was the peak of the homeless population that basically resided in these tunnels. So these over here, you see the elaborate colors and design. These are called pieces, and it's a little bit different. So the most basic form of graffiti writing they're called tags. It's basically someone's signature. And then after that are fills and throw-ups. But these pieces are like, there's a hierarchy basically. There's a hierarchy of graffiti artwork. So it's basically like a fill. It's kind of like the marshmallow letters that you can see sometimes on side of buildings. Those can go over tags, but pieces can go over almost everything with the exception of murals. But take a look at this. It says Goa. So my phone randomly started playing Spotify music, Johnny Cash, and it scared the shit out of me. But for the most part, you don't really have much to worry about in these tunnels. There used to be a really big homeless community that lived here, and I believe the homeless settlement here peaked. It peaked in 1991, if I recall correctly. And that's also when this Amtrak tunnel reopened and was in service again. So what they did was they expelled the homeless community here, but there are still homeless people here. And there's actually like these underground bunkers that they live in sometimes. They're really cool. And I ended up meeting somebody that lived in one of these underground bunkers. They have like electricity there. They have shelter, warmth, but it's really neat. So as you can see, we're under Riverside Park here in Manhattan, and we're also under a highway. As you can see, there's these little entrances that you can go through, that you can exit through the park. So it's not very hard. It's not very hard to get into these tunnels. You just kind of have to know where to look. So it's slightly unsettling when it's like almost pitch black and you can't see anything. So I guess this is horror story time right now. Scary story to tell in the dark. There's this very well-known graffiti artist here in New York. His name is Map. At this point, he's like a 50-year-old man, and he's been doing graffiti his whole life. I believe when he was around 13 years old, he came with the Freedom Tunnels to explore, but also to write, to create some art. He was caught by a homeless man who then raped him, and after that, Map came back with a tank of gasoline, and he lit the homeless man on fire and killed him. I think Map was charged with manslaughter, but he was underage, so I don't think he did any time. I think he went to juvie. Here's another nice piece of artwork. I'm having trouble reading what it says, but this looks really nice. It looks really old, but really nice. Like an older style. Like everything in life, every system that humans have invented, it constantly undergoes innovation. Same thing with graffiti. You can tell when graffiti is old or new, old school or new school. The older school is simpler, has either more marshmallowy letters or more block type letters. But on top of that, you can tell because the paint is faded. But for the most part, you can tell when something's newer versus when something is older. So here's some other things. It tends to be more detailed as well, and it tends to be I don't know, in my opinion, more unique in style. Like there's like various outliers of different kind of design patterns they can use, I guess. It's kind of like, like martial arts, like MMA. During its inception in the 90s, people were very they stuck to their own particular style, like karate, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. But now when you look at MMA, you look at the UFC or Bellator, everyone is a specialist in all sorts of types of things. So here's another one of the potential entrances or exits. So we're right next to the highway, but it's locked. So close, yet so far. Oh shit, look what I found. Hello? Anybody there? Hello? Alright, that's kind of scary. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm just gonna look to see what's behind there. Let's close this. So because we're directly under the highway, I constantly have to keep looking back just to make sure I don't get run over by a train. These trains run really fast, and they're pretty quiet, so you can't really hear them until they're very close to you. But what you can see is you can see the light. So you can see the light before you can hear them coming. So you look for the light, you can move out of the way and hide. Another interesting thing about the Freedom Tunnels is that they have these hatches where people can sometimes live. It's underground, they have electricity, they have heat. They can probably have a fridge in there if they can fit it in there, but it's rent-free. It's your own space. It's freedom. Freedom from taxation and fees. And yeah, when I was here a few years ago, I bumped into a man here who lived in one of these hatches, and we got a train coming. Here's some more interesting artwork. Something super cool here in the Freedom Tunnels. It's all dark, but there's certain places where the light basically reflects on the walls, and it's kind of like a little exhibit. Look at that. And you can run over to the other side And you can check some other artists. We have Dart, a New York City native. Trouble reading that, but yeah, super cool, super interesting. Admission, free of charge. Hello? It looks like somebody's been squatting here. There's all sorts of mattresses, clothes. There's another entrance to the park. So I've been walking for a few miles now, and I'm getting pretty tired. It's like pretty uneven ground, so you're like walking on like shifting rocks the whole time, even if you're walking on the tracks like I am. And we're like by 105th Street, uptown, and the only exit I can remember us taking at this point was the exit on like 120th Street, and it's like you climb a fence and you run through the highway, and I really hope you don't have to do that. But let's see if we can find an earlier exit. Here's another interesting piece I found, made by a guy in 2007. I reach beneath the skin of the street, with each step walking closer to... Got another train. Alright, so that train I did not look out for, but the signs in front of me were like glowing, and I was like, oh fuck, that's weird. And I look behind me, the train is right there. I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta start running. We've got this cute little house over here. Considering it's New York City, this small little studio-like space, it's probably gonna cost like at least $2,000 a month. I was thinking we're like in prime Manhattan, like in the Upper East Side. We are here in the outside of the Freedom Tunnels. But we have to run through the highway to get out of here, if I remember correctly. I believe we're gonna climb this fence over here. I think. This concludes our travel into the Freedom Tunnels. Have a great day. Hope you guys enjoyed it.